definitely speaking about another artist in the industry saying, man, Andre 3000 sat down with the Broken Record podcast. And on that podcast, he shed some light on where he is with music right now. Now, he actually sat down with Rick Rubin. I guess he runs that podcast over there. Shout out to him.
Dope.
He puts, and I quote, "I haven't been making much music, man. My focus is just not there. My confidence is not there. I tinker a lot. I just go to the piano and set my iPhone down and just record what I'm doing, moving my fingers, whatever happens, but I haven't been motivated to do a serious project." Sandman, what do you think about this though? Andre 3000, like you said, a story that you did about him and something that he was going through was one of the first stories that did some real great numbers, on YouTube. So you're definitely familiar with Andre 3000 and his music. What do you think about him saying this, and you being an artist, can you relate to what Andre 3000 is saying?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because as an artist, it kind of highlights the genius that he really is, and it also it tells you what kind of icon and how seriously he takes music. When he says he's uninspired, you got to think about the music that he's put out and the kind of person that he is, and where is the motivation? Where does the motivation lie in a world where there's not much to be happy about? There's not much to be really to praise on necessarily. Even when you look at the music, it's like, dang, this ain't a era where maybe necessarily I can find a creative juice to want to put out an album, to put out work. You don't often hear an artist, especially in the caliber of a Andre, say that because he's uninspired, he doesn't want to put out work. I'll give an Eminem for an example, one of the greatest rappers to ever do it. But a lot of the reason why he fell out of people's top 5, top 10 and beyond is because he felt the pressure to put out albums, because he heard whispers or heard things and heard this like that. And it wasn't the Eminem of old. It wasn't the Eminem we remember. Andre don't want to be that way. 3 Stacks don't want to be that way. He's not just going to put out an album because he hears people and he hears the whispers and everyone's saying they want a new OutKast album. Everybody says they want to do this or do that. We heard Boomerverse that came out a couple years back with Big Boy. That joint was a banger. I can still rock to that joint to this day. So they still can do their thing. So for him, and I'm sure even the piano that he plays and whatever comes out of his mouth, or whatever he's doing that's recorded, is genius. I'm sure it is. But for him not to have the inspiration, I'm glad and can respect and admire the fact that he can be open and honest about that. It's not easy to do. You don't see people coming off their high horse and saying that, especially the caliber of Andre. So
I think it goes to, I think it's kind of, a travesty in what it reflects how bad the music is nowadays, that he is like not feeling like seeing a new artist, because something about, competition, like when you had Jordan, you had all these players, Reggie Millers and Drexler and Isaiah Thomas, all these players were playing in the league. It just made it better. Like when you come in, you have to bring your A game.
Got to.
And now you got guys out there that's just subpar. Everything sounds the same. So you're like, you know what? I ain't really even feeling it. Like I need to even come out and even inject my music in this, because one, when I put it out there, people ain't going to appreciate it. They want this other different type of sound. And it's just like, it's music, just like even what we do. Anything that you do as an entrepreneur, you got to feel inspired. I know I got to feel inspired. Like even to get on here, if I'm not inspired, I don't see the vision all the way through, it just ain't going to be right. And it'll come out. So it's just like, you got to salute somebody like that. And I think you made the greatest point when you said that it just shows his genius. Like he ain't going to just give you something, a bullshit project, just to put it out there. He got to feel totally inspired, totally ready to put this product out there. You know what I mean? Because it's really, it's a process that's magical when you're creating music, when you're creating anything. And if any part of that has a kink in it, it's not going to come out the right way. So I think at a point in time, he definitely will get to the point where he will be, he'll put that out, but maybe now is not the time. And I don't know if Big Boy, I heard they were supposed to be doing something. I don't know if that whole, when you did a video, was it about like Big Boy kind of being frustrated with that process? I'm not sure.
Something was years ago, but it was something along those lines. Yeah, it was between them two. It wasn't anything beef related, because they've since kind of dispelled all of those rumors, but it was definitely involving the album and Big Boy kind of feeling the pressure of kind of putting it almost on his shoulders and having to answer the Andre questions. But like I said, that was years ago, and I don't know where they sit at now. I'm sure they 100% straight. Shout out to Andre though, man. I think the last decade or so, I've heard him on various features. All of them things have been fire. I've never heard a whack verse come out of Andre 3000's camp or his mouth, anything. So would love to hear work come from him, but respect
top 5
the fact,
for you?
Hell yeah. And I think the fact that the body of work that he's put out already, and it's been years since he put out anything else, and he's still solidified in that top 5, says a lot about what he's done already. He don't have to put out anything else.
Yeah.
But then it makes you respect a dude like Jay-Z, who can also put out 20, but have the drive and the aspiration and the inspiration to just keep pumping records and they be classics. I can appreciate both.
Yeah,
if you got the drive to do it.
Fell off. A lot of people, for whatever reason, uninspired. They just didn't feel it. So yeah, man. Like people like Jay. Fat Joe is another guy who always keeps a hit like ready. Like he 2 or 3 years go fast. Fat Joe knows how to make a hit, man.
That's a good idea.
So shout out to Fat Joe and all the other music makers out there that are doing their thing in hip hop, man.
Salute.
Yes, sir. But you're tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother Old God and Sam Ant. We're going in today. We want everybody, if you're listening, to hit that 5-star rating, and do not forget to subscribe to the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Well, one of our favorite groups coming up, Sam Man, State Property, the Locks. I've been looking on Instagram the last couple of days, and I've been seeing they've been posting a lot of pictures, reunion. They getting back together, doing little shows and whatnot. And Oskino has been one guy who just refuses to come back and do any shows with State Property. So I wanted to play an audio, of why he's saying he won't, rejoin the tour. And because he said in the video, like pretty much that everybody's asking him, yo, why you ain't there?
Right.
So he comes out and addresses why he refuses to go to State Property and be with them while they're making music. Here's the audio.
Coming at me like I did something wrong, like I'm trying to be stubborn or something, like I'm trying to get some people all in my inbox coming at me like I did something wrong, like I'm trying to be stubborn or something like that. Yeah, it ain't nothing like that. It's just a simple fact that certain things I don't condone. So you can't be a part of something complaining about something if you're gonna still stay with the situation that you're complaining about. So I just separated myself. There's no malice and nothing like that. It's just that, if I'm in a group of guys, 7 guys, and one of us tell on somebody, right? We gotta talk about that situation. We can't just act like it ain't happened. I can't act like it ain't happened. So I'll be like, you're not gonna see nothing free. Crack, they ain't gonna see nothing. Oh, this is the Twilight Zone. I gotta go. Everybody like, that ain't that deep. Oh, it's that deep to me. If you call your group State Property, that means you represent the penitentiary, the prison system. You're representing guys that's locked down and stuff like that. Can't be telling, man. That's just, especially on no meatball shit. So I'm different. It's like, I ain't like, I got no malice and that's like that. I can't control. It's because now it's starting to go down. Anything goes. Remember, it's only money. Money's just a piece of paper. If you do anything for money, you'll suck a dick for money, man. I'm a hustler. I'm gonna get money anyway. Whatever's enough for me to have, I have. But I understand some fans want me to be there and all that. No, this, that, and there, but plus I don't really want to sing them old songs anyway. It's like I'm the Whispers or something. On some real shit though, I ain't mad at nobody, nothing. It's just that I don't get down with that type of situation. The stuff Mac did and all that, trying to put some gay shit up. So my thing is this: why would I want to be around that? Why would I put myself around that energy? Ain't nothing personal. Ain't nothing like I'm mad or nothing. It's like I ain't being stubborn. It's just I don't fuck with niggas. That's it. It ain't no thing. Niggas really suckers. Y'all don't really know them personally. I know niggas personally. Niggas are suckers, man. Because anytime you can tell on somebody and still talking like you represent the penitentiary system, and niggas rocking with that, I can't fuck. Especially when I've been to the state penitentiary. I've been State Property for real. And certain things you don't do as a man, you do something. If you do a crime, you do the time. That's just what it is. This ain't no street shit. This is man shit. So I love y'all. Even if y'all love me back, but that's just where I'm at. So every time it's a reunion.
So that's Oskino. It's a little bit more there. Check out his Instagram, Oskino Vasquez 1, for the full audio of that video right there, Sam Man. Now, just to give the people a little bit of a backstory of why he's refusing to be on this tour. Back in 2015, Neef pretty much had a situation, where he was supposed to be buying a computer from Best Buy. He got tied up in something. Pretty much, from here it says that he agreed to speak with me, but refused to give a written statement. Pretty much he was trying to explain the situation. He agreed to talk to the police and whatnot. A lot of people, Oskino posted these documents on his Instagram a couple years back, don't want nothing to do with him. And a lot of people agree with Oskino, I should say, on why he's not going back to deal, with State Property and whatnot. He feels like the State Property should at least, say something. You're supposed to be from the streets. You're supposed to be all this. How you just going to let this dude who cooperated with the police come back into the group like nothing happened? So he says, as a result of that, I don't want to be involved with doing those songs with him. How do you feel about that and what Oskino said, Sam, man?
Hey, I'm not mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. I can respect it. I don't have to agree or disagree. It's not up to me to agree or disagree on how he feels. That's how he feels, and I can respect that. Now, Neef didn't get caught up in a situation where he took down the entire Nine Trey Bloods or anything crazy like that. But against Code, yeah, he went. And if you feel like you can't be around that because you don't know what levels he'll go to if you guys get caught up in a situation or anything like that based off of the code or the morale that you live by, I am not mad at you one bit for that. He said, I forgot what he said toward the end that made a lot of good sense to me, but also I don't agree with him all the way that there's nothing personal there. It does seem like there's something maybe a little personal there, but that's his business as well. I'm not mad at anything he said. I'm glad that the brothers are still out there doing their thing. It's crazy that you said them in D Block. It just brought back a whole bunch of memories.
Yeah.
But as far as Oskino,
yeah, and I honestly see both point of views. Let me start off with Oskino's point of view. I respect him standing for something. I love people who just stand alone. Like I don't care what everybody else is doing. This is he from North Philly. This is the code they live by. You can't do nothing but respect it. But I also kind of see, and Petey Crack was even kind of alluding to this, like, man, kind of just let it go. Whatever, we just getting, the money, which Oskino's like, it ain't worth the money for me because you'll do that, you'll do anything. So everybody got their own, way of thinking, but with Stay Private, I think more so they just on the tip, like, whatever, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my brother. Maybe they were closer because you talked about that too. How will we still deal with somebody we knew, ratted over something, small or something big like that? And we was like, it kind of depends on the relationship prior. Obviously, I don't know how close they were, you know what I mean, like that. I'm sure they didn't know each other before. They really, I could be wrong, came into the whole Rockefeller situation. But for whatever reason, he's going to hold this vendetta against these brothers and Neef, and that's his prerogative, man. I can't say he's wrong or right, but I will say that I could definitely understand both sides. At the end of the day, it's just like, all right, man, you coming in here making music, getting money, whatever. He did it. He shouldn't have. Maybe he's fraud, maybe he's fake from whatever you come from, but just kind of just move on. At what point do you move on? And but I do think though that he should, they at some point should have a face-to-face and just talk about it. I mean, Neef and Oskino alone and iron it out, because all the stuff going back and forth like that, it just ain't healthy. So, hopefully they could do that one day as men.